Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Joel Salomon. Joe Salomon is a finance and mindful money expert and master prosperity coach who helps others overcome obstacles standing in their way of their financial freedom. He's an award-winning TEDx speaker, workshop facilitator, and frequent television and podcast guest who has been quoted in the Wall Street Journal, Newsday, U.S. News and World Report, and interviewed in Forbes and on Bloomberg Radio. As a manager of a $700 million portfolio, the creator of his own successful hedge fund, and author of 3 best-selling books, Infinite Love and Money, The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, and Mindful Money Management, Joel is an expert in the field of finance and the mindset of money. Well, good afternoon, Joel. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Brian. It's a real pleasure and an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome, and I appreciate you making the time. Hailing out of the great state of New York, jumping on a podcast here late at night. But I do love this. Meet someone new every single day, get to share their story with their permission to the entire world. So, Joel, we're going to jump right into the questions here. We want to get to know you. So, Joel, you've got quite the career as a fund manager, founding and managing your own hedge fund. You're a TEDx speaker, author, and now the CEO of SaLaurMor Management. Could you share with our audience what life lessons have you learned that's had the greatest impact on you so far, and how did you learn that lesson?
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for the question. So first of all, I have to say I'm a very proud dad of 2 amazing, courageous, caring daughters, Lauren and Morgan. My company name, SaLaurMor, is named after them, Lauren and Morgan. And I've learned from them unconditional love. I thought I knew about love before I had children, but they taught me what unconditional love is, and I will throw myself in front of a bus or truck to save them. That is one of my life lessons, learning that unconditional love. In addition, from my business, my second book is called The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use. And a lot of those lessons come from my time managing at the peak $700 million for Citi, and then having my own hedge fund. And rule number 1 is when you believe. And for me, belief is essential in all aspects of your life. And I give the example in the book of how important belief is to being successful in your business and in your investments. And I'm pretty sure most people don't do this, but I recommend writing down your level of belief, where 10 is absolute faith, a knowing, and 1 is massive doubt. And to write down 1 to 10 for each investment idea you're thinking about or have already done, and also for your business, what investments you're going to make in your business, or what major decisions you're going to make in your business. What is your level of belief that they're going to be successful? And what I tell my clients who are interested in investing is, if you're not at least a 7, 8, 9, or 10 in your belief level, what's going to happen is you're going to be buying when you should be selling and selling when you should be buying. So having that high conviction level is really essential. My second rule in the 9 money rules is trust your intuition. And I will tell you that there's very few, if any, financial planners, financial advisors out there that will tell you to trust your intuition. But being a former hedge fund manager, I will tell you that if I didn't trust my intuition, I either made less money or I lost money. And my clients ask me now, Joel, how do I develop my intuition? And I say, you have to use it, exercise it every chance you get. You're making hundreds of decisions every day. So when you're making the small decisions, start out by saying, okay, let me just tap into my intuition, tap into my gut. What's it telling me to do? And then over time, you can expand to bigger and more important decisions. And I found, again, that when I trust my intuition, I make a lot more money. So those are a few life lessons from my hedge fund and from my daughters.
Thank you. That's awesome. And you typically don't hear that about intuition these days. It's always about, well, you got to make sure you plan and this and that. And so I appreciate the insights. And obviously from a successful hedge fund manager, that probably makes a lot of sense. So thank you again, Joel. Joel, Do you have any client success stories you'd like to share today?
Absolutely. So, two ends of the spectrum. One is so I teach my prosperity coaching clients how to change their money mindset from limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs. I teach manifestation techniques, 10 specific manifestation techniques to manifest money. And I also teach, as I alluded to earlier, 20% of my clients come to me to learn about investing either in the stock market or real estate. And one of my clients came to me a few years ago who was an auto mechanic and wanted to learn everything I knew about stock investing. And it took a little bit of while. It took a couple of years. I taught him my proprietary 5-step stock screen, which is in the 9 Money Rules millionaires use. I also taught him price targets. And he generated over $3 million by working with me and he manifested that $3 million. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, just recently in my new fast track prosperity coaching program, a 90-day program that I teach entrepreneurs how to generate significant income, how to become more focused and create a high priced offer, along with shifting their mindset to having a stronger belief in themselves and in their business. I had a woman who tripled her monthly revenues within the 90 days. Now, this obviously is not going to happen every time, but she was right on the cusp, on the cutting edge of breaking out in her business. And I knew when she came to me, she was at that point. So it was easy to work on her money mindset and give her the specific techniques that I just alluded to in order for her to get to the next level. So those are a couple of client success stories.
Love that. Our audience enjoys a good story, especially a success story. And, your first one with the, auto repair mechanic, that is just awesome. And I'm glad you were able to share and highlight that this evening. Joel, are you leveraging, and the reason I'm asking this, we're a technology platform, publication podcast, right? I'm a techie, but we want to know if you're leveraging any new or emerging technologies in your business. And if not, maybe you found a cool tool or app you might be able to share with us.
So two I came up with. One is I've been using for many years. It's Join by Text, joinbytext.com. And I started using this when I went to a presentation about 4 years ago. And the guy said that if you text to this number, this word, then you'll get this free PDF. And so I went up to him afterwards and asked him how he did that. And he said, it's really easy, join by text. So I have, and I mentioned before we got on live, Brian, rule number 6 in the 9 Money Rules is giving. So I'm going to give to your listeners a free video called How to Ease Your Money Worries. So you get How to Ease Your Money Worries by texting to the number 66866 prosperity. So by the way, on the social media, it's Joel Prosperity Salomon on Instagram and TikTok. So if you text the number 66866 prosperity, you'll get this free video, How to Ease Your Money Worries. So that's the first one. The second, I just started using the last few weeks. AI is obviously a big trend these days. Some of those stocks have gone up 200, 300, 400% in just the last 6 months. So somebody turned me on to this on Zoom. It's called Fathom AI, Fathom. And when I am on a Zoom call with my clients, I have been transcribing and taking notes, diligent, copious notes for all my client meetings. And Fathom AI is even better. I think it's the best one out there right now. And it's about 90% accurate. And it also summarizes the call as well. So you get a summary of the call, and then you also get the transcription of the call on Zoom. So that's an AI platform I just started using.
Love to hear what people are using out there, whether it's in their tech stack or whether, like you said, someone showed you an app that was successful for them and they leverage. We appreciate that. We really, really do. And Joel, just so you know, when we're done with this podcast, we will post everything on our platform. Across 30 platforms we're syndicated as far as the podcast. But on our website, all this information with your free video will be posted there as well for our listeners. So I appreciate that, and I know they will as well.
Great.
So last question of the evening, Joel, do you have any specific tips for listeners?
Hashtag doubt the doubt. When you're in business, you're an entrepreneur or an individual, throughout the day, there will be doubts that come up. Doubt them. Doubt the doubt. Have faith in your dreams and desires. Believe what you can achieve, and you will. So that's my strong tip for listeners. Hashtag doubt the doubt.
Love it. Very succinct, very straight to the point, and it gets you thinking. And I tell you, when we share this out, I think I'll have to include that hashtag doubt the doubt.
Thank you, Brian.
You bet. Joel, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you so much, Brian. It's been a great pleasure to be on your show, and I'm really grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Bye for now.